Hello children, welcome to the today's session, day 7. So, in the previous class, we discussed the information about our fundamental rights. Okay, let us recall the last fundamental right we discussed, that is, right to constitutional remedies. What the children? Right to constitutional remedies. Article number 32. So, why this right is known as heart and soul of our constitution means, suppose all the citizens of India, we have fundamental rights which are given by the constitution for us. So how we are enjoying our fundamental rights, in the same manner we have the right to protect our fundamental rights under this article number 32. Due to that reason only, this uh, right, fundamental right, is known as heart and soul of Indian constitution. So my dear children, under this fundamental rights, high court have the power, high court or supreme court have the power to pass some writs. Writ means what, appeal. So here the high court has the power to pass some writs to protect our fundamental rights according to the article number 226. So here is the topic today. Today you are going to learn about the writ petitions. Generally, what is the meaning of the word petition? Petition means it is a appeal made by the people as well as institution to the government, that is known as petition or appeal. Here, writ petition. Again, I am repeating the point to you children. High Court have the power to pass some writs to the citizens under Article number 226. So, Article number 226 in our Constitution deals with writ petitions. So now, so how many types of writs are there, and how can we enjoy those petitions? That is our discussion today, children. Okay. So by using this writ petition, we can stop some of the injustice activities to the citizens of a country. So now here it is. Types of writ petitions. There are majorly five types of writ petition, children. One is habeas corpus. Habeas corpus. The second one is mandamus. The second one is mandamus. Third one is prohibition. Prohibition. The fourth one is certiorari. Certiorari. And the fourth and the fifth one is co-warrant. Co-warrant. Again, I am repeating, children. There are five types of writ petitions are there. The first one is habeas corpus, the second one is mandamus, the third one is prohibition, the fourth one is certiorari, and the fifth one is co-warrant. So now let us discuss complete information about each and every writ petition. So here it is, the first writ, habeas corpus. Habeas corpus. Habeas corpus writ. So habeas corpus writ petition. Listen children, this is the order passed by either Supreme Court or High Court to submit or produce a person within a specific time frame. Specific time frame. Example, if a person is arrested in a one case, if a one accused person, so after he arrested by the policeman, immediately within a particular time, that accused person must be submitted in front of the judge or else in front of the court. So even the police department or the police any other people, they don't have any right to take action against the people without any proper reason. So if a person is arrested, if the accused person has to submit in front of the judge within a particular time frame. And also habeas corpus writ providing opportunity to the person to raise a question against to the concerned court for the reason for his detention, reason for his arrest. A person can question the authority about the reason for his arrest. That is known as habeas corpus writ. My dear children, habeas corpus writ means the accused person has to be submit in front of the judge within a particular time framework. And moreover that this writ petition providing opportunity to the people to raise reason against to his arrest or detention. So if any person arrested by the policeman, so without any proper reason means the accused person has to submit in front of the court maybe within a 24 hours of time period. That writ is known as habeas corpus writ. Okay, I hope children you are clear with this writ petition, right? So here the picture I have mentioned you. See here, the aim of this will be to prevent injustice. To prevent unjust means in order to stop the arrest without any reason. That is the major aim of habeas corpus writ, so that this is a right for the people to raise to ask the reason for their detention. Okay, next, move on to the next slide children. Mandamus. So generally how many organs are there in the union government? There are three organs. One is legislature, executive and judiciary. Clear? So here judiciary is a independent organ. Independent organ means it don't have any connection with the legislature and executive. So here the mandamus writ petition describes if the legislature and executive or any other subordinate institutions, if they are not performing their functions in a proper way, then High Court or Supreme Court can pass order against to the those institutions. I hope you are clear with this line children. If legislature or executive or any other subordinate institution, if they are not performing their functions in a proper way, then as per this writ the High Court or Supreme Court can pass order against to the legislature, executive as well as any other subordinate institution. And moreover High Court and Supreme Court, they don't have any right pass this order against to the individual or a governor or president. The court don't have any right to raise this writ against one person or a governor or a president of India. President of India is a first citizen of our country and governor is a first citizen of the state. This is a right is known as mandamus. Children, these are all writs under which article? Article number 226. Even the High Court or Supreme Court have the right to pass this writ petition. So mandamus writ means what children? If any subordinate institution or else legislature and executive, if they are not performing their functions in a proper way, then High Court or Supreme Court, they can pass an order against to those institutions. And here what is the exception? Court don't have any right to pass this writ against to the one person, against to the governor or against to the president of India. So we can say that this is the order by the court to the subordinate institution to perform their functions correctly. So this is the order issued by the court to the subordinate institutions to perform their functions correctly. That is all about the writ mandamus. Okay, children, let us move on to the next slide. Prohibition. So here Supreme Court is the ultimate authority in India, and the High Court is the ultimate authority in a particular state government. And under High Court, there are some subordinate courts are there. You can take District Court is there, Session Court is there, Criminal Court is there, and Civil Courts also there. Even Lok Adalat also there. So here, prohibition means if any subordinate court, prohibition means if any subordinate court issue judgment that is beyond its jurisdiction. Jurisdiction means law. If any subordinate court passes judgment in a case that is beyond its jurisdiction, then High Court pass order against to such judgment. Example, District Court is there. District Court gave one judgment that is beyond its law. At that time, High Court can pass judgment against to, High Court can pass judgment against to that one. So children, prohibition means we can say, I gave the example, right? So prohibition, yes, this is the order passed against the subordinate court by the High Court. So children, subordinate courts are working under High Court. So High Court has to follow the guidelines given by the Supreme Court. So if the subordinate courts passes any judgment that is not under its control, means at that time High Court have the power to pass judgment against to that case, means against the judgment given by the subordinate court, that is known as prohibition. So here subordinate courts, they must follow their jurisdiction. They should not give any judgment that is beyond its jurisdiction. If it is happens like that, at that time the High Court will pass order against to the subordinate court, that is known as prohibition. Okay, so now certiorari, this is also similar to the prohibition only. Here when the subordinate court passes any kind of judgment that is beyond its jurisdiction, if the subordinate court passes a judgment that is beyond its jurisdiction, at that time High Court can pass order to submit those case records, So or else we can say that it is a formal request for the Supreme Court to take the here. Example, I am the person filed a case in a High Court, or I am the person filed a case in the subordinate court. Subordinate court gave judgment, but I am not satisfied with that judgment. Example, at that time what I shall do, I can use this right, certiorari, I can appeal the case in the High Court. So High Court gave judgment, even I am not satisfied with the judgment given by the High Court. At that time I can move on to the Supreme Court. Means when the subordinate court means here High Court, subordinate court, District Court, Supreme Court, subordinate court, High Court. So here subordinate court will be giving the judgment that is not beyond its jurisdiction. At that time, according to the certiorari, the High Court can pass order to the lower court to submit the records related to that judgment, that is known as a certiorari. So is it clear, children? So it is also one of the writ petition. And here quo warrant, it is the final writ petition in our list. So it is a order that directing the right person to occupy right public office. Remember carefully. This is a order directing a right person to occupy right public office. Example, if any one person hold office, or else if any one person appointed in a position in a illegal manner, at that time, by using this covenant, high court, by using this covenant, high court can pass the order. So that's what I told. Co-warrant is a order. Co-warrant is a order directing the right person to occupy the right position. So this is the order passed against the person. This is the order passed against the person who occupy the public office illegally. Children, these kind of things you can find out in employments. Some of the people, they will get some of the jobs in a illegal manner by giving bribe and all kind of things. If we came to know, or else any kind of malpractices he got appointed at that time, by using this cowarrant writ, we can file a petition in a particular concerned court. It is a high court or else supreme court. So this is known as cowarrant. The order cowarrant is the order directing the right person to occupy the right position. This is the order against the person who occupied the office illegally. That is known as cowarrant. So my dear children, so far we discussed 5 different types of writ petition. One is habeas corpus, mandamus, prohibition, certiorari, and cowarrant. So habeas corpus we discussed, right? So and after that mandamus and prohibition and certiorari and cowarrant. So here another important thing that we may not be considered in a writ petition, that is known as PIL. PIL, public interest litigation. Public interest litigation. So public interest litigation can be filed in the court in order to protect the social rights of the people. So public means people, interest. In order to protect the rights of the people, we will file a case in the court, that is known as public interest litigation. Example, if the social rights are denied, if the social rights are denied, then if the social rights are denied at that time, the people, the public can file a case in the court. So remember carefully, public interest litigation can be filed by either individual or else social institution. Children, one best example I will say. Best example I will say. Recently, uh, the government of Karnataka, the government of Karnataka published the official timetable to conduct SSLC examinations. So after they gave the timetable, immediately there is a case filed in a court to stop that examinations in the situations like coronavirus pandemic. So here that PIL is filed by the person. That is the best example for public interest litigation. That's what I told you. Public interest litigation filed by individual or else social institution. So at any point of time, if the social rights of the people are denied, the social rights of the people are denied at that time, social institutions or else individuals, they can file case in the court, that is known as public interest litigation. Even if you are feeling your social rights are denied you can file a case in the court, that is known as public interest litigation. So this is all about different writ petitions. My dear children, in the previous class and today's class, we completed the all over information about our fundamental rights as well as writ petition. Okay, so now let me recall the information what we discussed in the previous video and here. So in the previous video we started our discussion with the fundamental rights, and after that we discussed 6 fundamental rights, and each and every fundamental right, that is right to equality, right to freedom, right against exploitation, right to freedom of religion, and the right to educational, cultural and educational rights. And after that we discussed separately about 86th amendment takes place in the year 2002, and moreover right to education in Karnataka, and after that right to constitutional remedies under the article 32. So children, whatever the information we discussed, that is writ petition, that will becomes under right to constitutional remedies. So here our constitution not only giving fundamental rights to us, and also our constitution is giving a right to us to protect our fundamental rights by using these writ petitions. So how many types of writ petition, children? There are 5 types of writ petitions as per article 226. One will be habeas corpus writ, mandamus writ, prohibition, certiorari, coverent, and finally we discussed a new kind of thing, that is known as public interest litigation. So children, this is the end of the topic, our fundamental rights. So in this lesson, 2 more topics are reminded, which are nothing but fundamental duties as well as directive principles. So the information related to our fundamental duties and directive principles of state policy we will continue to discuss in the coming section. In the further class we will discuss. So this is the end of the session 7, social science, grade 9. Thank you children, have a nice day.